Hi, and welcome to this edition of Mid-South Viewpoint here on Bot Radio Network. I'm Byron Tyler. Friends, good to have you stop by as we welcome Pastor Marron Thomas of the Innovation Church in Fraser. Pastor Myron, really nice to see you. It's been a while.
It's been a while. Nice seeing you as well, man.
Yeah, we're excited to talk about Her Needs, His Needs, Part 2. And we have some cast from this. Marquino Douglas, who is the lead actor. Marquino, good to have you back on the show.
Same. Glad to be here, man.
Good to see you. Also want to welcome Arie Kight, who is a strong supporting actress.
Thank you.
Arie, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
Coming up June 20th, 7 p.m. at the iconic, historic Orpheum Theatre, downtown Memphis.
Yes.
So you guys were able to snag a date at the Orpheum again.
We were able to do it. We're excited about it.
And so, again, this is Her Needs, His Needs, Part 2. We were together, what was it, about a year ago, Myron, and we talked about Her Needs, His Needs, Part 1.
Yes.
Was there any thought at that time that there would be a sequel?
It was no thought at that time that there would be a sequel. It was no thought at that time. So many people wanted it a Part 2 or wanted another production, and we just thought that it would be really a blessing. God put on my heart what it was going to be about, and we put it together, and here we are. Briefly
tell us what Part 2 is going to be about.
Oh, gosh. Part 2 is going to be about several married couples. The main married couple, which is Keno, he's the main actor. And it's going to be about individuals that's married from different walks of life. So you have, and it depicts several marriages. You have a marriage where one person's need is not being met and the other person's need is not being met. And so how do we navigate through this thing? How do we figure this thing out? You know, do we get counseling? Do we argue through it? Do we fight through it? And the causes and effects of situations in marriage. So it is really good. It talks about every aspect of marriage that you could think about. Okay. You know, things that we didn't get in premarital counseling when I was in my 20s that I'm seeing so prevalent now. And so it's going to make you laugh. It's going to make you cry. It's going to make you laugh again. It's going to make you think. You know, I believe that people are going to leave there saying, hey, listen, I came for a play and I got a play. I got laughter and I got counseling as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how does Part 2 build or differ from Part 1?
It's like marriage. You know, you have different seasons of life. And in one season, you know, someone may not be getting their needs met. And then another season, the other spouse may not be getting their needs met, and so it sort of has a change.
Yeah.
It's just some couples are still the same. Some couples have graduated to and so it's just, man, one person said, like, okay, shouldn't these people reconcile? They've already had the discussion. They've already had these conversations. They've already had counseling, and in life you can have counseling. You can reconcile, but you still can have the same issues.
Yes.
And so it's going to speak to all of that, man. We've been married all of these years and we're still dealing with the same thing that we were dealing with when, 15 years ago when we first got married.
Exactly.
And so,
and Marquino, you stepped into different seasons of your life. The first time I met you, you were a single guy,
Yeah.
And God brought you this beautiful wife. You're married now, and now you've got a child. So that changes the dynamic too, right?
Absolutely. And seeing God's hand on our lives in those different seasons is just a beauty. And I think in the play, that's the beauty of the play, just the different depictions of the different seasons in these relationships that you're going to see.
Yeah. How about for you, Arie? Tell me your role.
Well, so my role is Whitney. She is the loving, beautiful, but overbearing wife.
Controlling.
She's very controlling. She loves to know what her man is doing at all times. And even when he tells her exactly what he's doing, she just does not believe him. So she likes to, spy and check in and read text messages and maybe put trackers on cars and things like that to make sure that her husband is doing exactly what he said.
Yes, they're going to love this character. They're going to love this. Yes.
She's out there, huh?
Oh, she's out there.
Very much.
She's out there. She represents so many people.
Definitely.
So let's talk about the script, Myron. Did you write the script?
I did.
Okay. Now, how much of this was based on, of course, you've got your personal experience with your wife, Tori, and then also your counseling experience, because I'm sure you counsel with a lot of couples being a pastor at your church.
Yeah, it was based on a bit of all of it. Our experience, counseling, and just marriage. Just seeing marriage over the years, for several years, ministering to married couples. It's just a combination of real life. How do we put real life and bring it to the stage? And so that's where it came from. Just real relevant things that people talk about, that people deal with, that people don't talk about, that they should deal with. So
Right.
it came out of that.
Well, Marquino, I know your acting began at Juilliard, School of Acting, right? No, did you ever act in high school?
I never acted in high school. Now, my only acting experience came from dealing with Pastor Byron as a kid. So he was heavy on drama and loved drama. And myself, Quita, and some of the kids who would come around the ministry, he'll put together drama so quick and we'll be the ones doing it.
And they're so powerful, right, Myron?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, it speaks right to the heart of it. I think, and Barry, it really deal with things that people are going through. They're really weeping because we're speaking for people and communicating for people for the voiceless, or those who really can't communicate and articulate what they're thinking and what they're feeling.
Yeah.
We speak to it and we give the verbiage that they're looking for.
Okay. Arie, how about your acting career? When did it begin?
Oh, wow. So I started acting in high school, most definitely. I did every musical and play that I could get my hands on. And from there, I just became a creative altogether. Anything musical or creative or arts I could get my hands on, that's what I did. So last time I actually worked behind the scenes of the play, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I joined the drama team at the church not too long ago, and they saw some of these acting chops kind of take the dust off. And they asked me to step aboard this time, and I was really excited to do so.
So you came out of your shell.
Yes.
She's been doing amazing, Byron.
That is so awesome.
And let me say this too, Byron. So Marquino is Craig, and he's married to Sabrina. And just a piece on it. And he's so focused on his business and his employment that he neglects her needs. And while he's trying to build his business and build his empire and just build his what he feels is a calling in his life, he's neglecting her and neglecting a lot of responsibilities. And when that happened, other things can happen in her life because she feels that her needs are not being met. And so he's not emotionally available to her. And sometimes men that's driven, we're not emotionally available to our wives because we're so driven in other areas that we neglect the main thing. And so, we see a lot of this in counseling. We see a lot of it. And not that the guy's a bum, it's just I'm so driven and I'm so focused here that I lose sight of what's priority to me. And he loses sight and he ends up dealing with the repercussions of losing sight of the main thing.
And the communication breakdown, too, is big, right?
It's big.
When it comes to understanding each other's needs, you've got to spend time together, right?
Absolutely. Pastor Marron, and just the the culture around Innovation Church is prioritized. He talks a lot about the big rocks and what are those big rocks in your life. And so definitely everything has to be communicated. Because if not, then you're not on the same page. And in marriage, you have to be on the same page. And so spending time is definitely a priority.
Yeah. Arie, are you married?
I am not.
You got somebody for Byron?
Yeah.
I am not. I am
So all of y'all out there, Arie is single.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, are these guys able to do some dialogue back and forth, or do they act on stage together?
Y'all don't have a part together.
We don't.
But I think they can do a piece. You play Larry, and just
Okay.
y'all just go like me and Quita did yesterday
All
rehearsal.
right, good. Whitney, I need you to sit up straight in that chair so that we can represent this radio station well.
Excuse me, I am sitting up, but you need to mind your business. I have us. I'm looking out for us, okay?
Well, Whitney, I think that's all good, but Byron, we're in Byron's office, so you got to act dignified in there.
I'm being dignified, but while we're talking about being dignified, when I checked your location last night, it said that you were at the gas station, and I'm not sure if that was really true. Were you meeting up with someone?
No, I was not meeting up with anybody, Whitney.
I don't believe you. I feel like I need to check it. Let me see your phone.
Oh my goodness,
Can I
Byron,
see your
can we get on with the show,
Can I
Byron?
see your phone?
Putting a track under my car is insane, Whitney.
I mean,
Stop that.
But accountability is what we do in marriage, is it not?
Now we talking about accountability. Byron, do you got a counselor?
He's right here. Help him out, Myron. Lighten up a little bit, Whitney.
I'm trying. It's a work in progress. I'm doing what I can do.
It is. We all have to do that, right, Myron?
Absolutely.
When it comes to the relationships. How long have you and Tori been married now?
We're married. It'll be 22 years
Really?
in June.
Oh, my.
Yeah, this month now.
We just
Amen.
celebrated
28th of June.
We just celebrated 41 years.
Come on, man.
congratulations.
Praise God.
Praise
Praise
man.
God, man.
She's put up with a lot. You know? She's
Come
put
on,
up with
man.
a whole lot. She really has. But we talk about how our spouses help complete us. Ultimately, we can't find our fulfillment in our spouse. We have to find it in that relationship with Jesus. Isn't that right, Arie?
Absolutely.
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 Whether you're single or married, it's got to all be about Jesus when it comes to that
Absolutely.
relationship.
Yeah.
It's at the top.
Yeah.
It's and people feel that the two halves make a whole. That's not the case. The two wholes make a whole in marriage, and in mathematics, two halves make a whole. But in the kingdom, two wholes make a whole, and we see that a lot. You have incomplete people that are looking for fulfillment in another person, and we feel that no. Marriage, your spouse shouldn't complete you, but it complements what
Yes.
God has already done in you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what would you say are some of the conversations that you're hoping that this production will spark in our homes and our churches?
Hoping that it sparks a conversation of counseling, really going back, looking at the why to the what, because the what is taking place. This is what we're seeing, but we don't know why this is taking place. We don't know the trauma that's taking place. And so hopefully counseling will come out of this. Also, hopefully just real honest dialogue will come out of it, and communication on what do you really want. We find that people are married for years, but they never really have tough conversations about the needs. What do you need? What do you like? What do you want? And nothing is off limits.
Yeah. Why do we ignore that? Why do we ignore those conversations?
I think it's just it's. I don't really want to be intimate. I don't want to get at that level. Or I have insecurities, and I don't want you to come into my place of refuge and my insecurities and their mind, and I hold on to these things. And so becoming one is difficult. You're becoming one with another individual, and sometimes you don't like yourself. And so if I'm not liking myself because of the insecurities and I feel unsafe, it's difficult for me to let somebody into unsafety in my own life. And so it's just let's do this thing and let's be surface. And I don't want to step on any toes, and I don't want you to step on any toes.
Yeah. Marquino is the lead actor. How did you prepare emotionally and also spiritually for your role?
Yeah, I think one of the big things that, in productions or acting period, I think you have to become that person that you are. So I'm no longer Marquino Douglas. I'm no longer who I am. I'm Craig. I am husband to Sabrina. And so understanding who I am as a husband in this play, understanding the way I'm treating her, understanding the way I'm supposed to be, my mannerisms, I got to adapt all of those things in order to bring this alive.
Yeah.
Because I'm speaking for many Craigs that are out in the audience.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so
What's it like when you're there and the lights are on you and you got an audience out there? Is that a little intimidating?
it can be intimidating if you're not confident. You know what I'm saying? And so, but I think the confidence is built in preparation, though. You know what I'm saying? And so, the more you prepare, the better prepared you are, and the more confidence you have when you hit the stage.
Amen. Arie, what drew you to your character and what drew you to this story?
Well, you know what? I may not be as extreme as Whitney going about things, but I definitely believe, like, deep down, Whitney is just insecure. And she struggles with just voicing that as opposed to putting all of her insecurities onto her husband, who, bless his heart, Larry is trying his best. He is trying his best to prove that he's a good man. But, you know, Whitney is just, she doesn't feel secure. She's seen some things happen in the past with her father, and she just feels like that's going to be Larry. I don't want that to happen. So she tries to beat him to the punch, in a sense. And where I feel like I resonate with that is I've dealt with my own insecurities, and maybe projecting that onto the person that I was dating at the time. And which is why I'm single now, honestly, because I wanted to, you know, work on those things within myself, you know, because I saw that I was doing that. And I'm like, they didn't deserve that. That wasn't them. That was really me. That was me being insecure, not feeling confident, not trusting, and so I was like, I'm not ready. Let me just chill for a minute.
So this could really help you in not being a Wendy and not get married to a Larry.
Listen, and Larry's a good guy. He's going to have to man up a little bit because Whitney is manhandling him for sure.
Oh,
but yeah.
So are most of the cast carry over from the first round?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Most of them, yeah. We have a couple of new characters, but
did they have to audition, or did you handpick them? Or how?
We handpicked them. We handpicked, yeah. And you know what? We handpicked the entire cast.
Yeah.
And, and just gave them like, this is the part that you're going to do. And all of them have stepped up to the plate.
Absolutely.
So that's unique and such a blessing. It's just, this is the part we want you to do. And they did.
I love that. So how do you guys feel working on this play has deepened your relationship with one another as cast and crew? Because you also worship together. You go to church together, right?
Yes. I think it's a very unique thing because sometimes you only see these people on Sunday mornings.
Mm-hmm.
And so to see them outside of a church setting, to see them outside of just worship and see, their kids at practice, to see them coming from work and everybody building camaraderie and family and just the community we need to make this thing what it need to be. It's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off of that, people tell me all the time, I say to people all the time, I live in Innovation. That's like my second home. I really look at everybody there like brothers and sisters. We're all supportive of each other. We're all looking out for each other. We're all checking in with each other, all holding each other accountable. It's just really a beautiful experience and something I really prayed for. I asked God to surround me with people that had that accountable, nurturing, loving kingdom, kinship. And that's exactly what we're getting.
Martin, I think this is so beautiful. And you look at the fact that Innovation Church was started 12 years ago. You just recently had your 12th anniversary.
Yes.
I was there on that first Sunday that you kicked off. The growth and what God has done there and just the foundation's been laid. It's easy, I guess, and you could maybe speak into this, easy as a pastor in a ministry to kind of stay inward to just the group there, but to take something like this to a public forum, to the stage, a very prominent place in our city that sees major Broadway productions coming, major acts. I saw Kenny Rogers there. Now, you probably, have you heard of Kenny Rogers?
I have.
So, but I'm just saying the type of acts that come there, and then here you are stepping on that stage. Talk about that.
Man, it's a thing of beauty. It's a blessing. Just so honored to do it. I remember in the 90s, I used to go to stage plays, and I was really inspired by it. I'm like, man, this is awesome. And, God blessed me to be able to do drama. And we used to do drama at, during our nonprofit years. Just whenever I would speak a message, most of the times I would have a drama that talked about what I spoke about. And it's surreal to actually be on the stage that I was looking at so many years ago, to produce a stage play on that same stage. Wow. Not just any stage, but the stage of the Orpheum. It is huge, man.
Yes.
It is a blessing. Just just last year, just being there, just soaking it up. Like, man, I wish I would have remembered exactly the seat. I know approximately the seat that I was sitting in. And just now I'm in another seat.
Wow. Myron, how does the church better serve couples dealing with issues like communication breakdown, infidelity, emotional disconnection?
The Big C Church.
Yeah.
I think they got to step into it. We have to step into it and not be afraid of dealing with it and speak to it. We're very intentional about our men, about our marriage ministry, and we speak to it. We just I think that's what has to happen in the church, because this is very prominent. Infidelity is prominent, and guys not being emotionally available, those things are prominent. We have to know that. We see the statistics and we have to deal with it and not be afraid. And in ministering a relevant message, this is relevant to our society. Yes. And so why are we irrelevant in our messaging?
Yes. I know some of the fuel to get excited about what you do is hearing testimonies from those who have seen the stage production.
Yes.
So can you reflect back on some of those comments that you received when you did it last year?
Oh yeah. Oh man, it's a plethora of them. We put it on social media as well, but it's one, we thought we was coming to a stage play, but it's counseling. Others, man, I literally cried when this scene took place in my life because this was that scene depicted the why to my what in my marriage, and so I can't express myself to my spouse in this way, and we had complications. And so now I know the reason why we had complications in that area. I didn't communicate. I saw it myself. There, one guy, he joined the church and he first found out about us at the Orpheum, and he came to the Orpheum, and so his wife told him while they were there. She said, "Did you tell these people my business?" He didn't even know us. And she said, "You told them folks our business? Did you tell them our business?" And so he came to another marriage revival that we did, and now they're members of the church.
Isn't that? Yeah. That's what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what it's about?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, that is so beautiful. And I love the investment in lives. I've already told you, I get excited when I see the man cave events you guys have.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
When you take those retreats in Moscow and
Yeah.
play that football, you guys get into it. But then you have some really heart-to-heart times,
Yes.
building the body. That's what it's all about.
That's it.
sir.
That's
Wow,
it.
it's so beautiful. What does it mean for an inner city church like Innovation to be performing in a historic venue like the Orpheum?
Man, we're a church that's in the inner city. Yeah, but what it is, man, it's huge, man. It's huge, for so many people that's not taking this journey with us, that's taking this journey and actually seeing it. It's also big from this standpoint because I didn't know that, and I got a little history on last year. But when African Americans used to go to the Orpheum, they had to go in this certain door and go around the back, and now things have changed, praise God. And our city is different, and our environment is different, and culture is different. And so not only do we have to go around the back, but we actually can write stage plays and be on the center stage. And so that's a blessing from God and a testament of his goodness.
Tickets. How do we get tickets?
Ticketmaster.com. Ticketmaster.com. Go and get them. We have tickets, $54 tickets, $78 tickets, $116 for VIP, and $139 for VIP 1. $116 is VIP 2. And so go to Ticketmaster.com, get your ticket. It is going to be amazing. Whether you're married, single, engaged, looking to be married, separated, it's a message in it for you.
Okay, for someone listening right now who's really struggling in their relationship with their spouse, what one word of encouragement would you offer them, Marquino, today?
Grace. Trust God. Trust God that things is going to get better. Communicate and have a whole lot of grace.
A whole lot of grace.
A whole lot of grace.
Yeah. All right. You have any words of wisdom to give to our listeners?
I say have an open heart. Always keep God first. Like they said, communication is key. Be honest, be your true self, and be healed. I think that's the biggest thing. Make sure you are healed before you go deep into anything. Yeah.
And Myron, I think it's important. Sometimes the church doesn't recognize our singles as like they should. They don't get honored enough,
Yeah.
And that's, I know that don't happen in Innovation, I know. God bless our singles and their contribution to ministry, the church.
Yes. Oh my God. I was looking last night. We was at rehearsal, and I was like, man, this play about marriage. We have a lot of single people that's playing marital roles,
Right.
And you said it, man. And that's what Paul talk about. When you're single, man, your devotion is unto the Lord. And so, just even with our creative director, assistant director, just her singleness has been a blessing to us. Now, she's about tired of being single, but it's just being, hey, listen, you can give. So you said the contribution that's made is huge because they can give so much of their time.
And I think ultimately, bottom line, wouldn't you say, all right, this is about relationships, and relationships are with people, and we all are in those kind of mixes, and we need, these are principles and things that we can apply.
Absolutely. You need healthy communication with any relationship.
Yes.
You need honesty with any relationship. You need healing and trust with any relationship. And one of the things I will say as a single coming from Innovation is, even though I am single, listening to his sermons and messages for the kingdom couples and just talking about what kingdom marriage looks like,
Right.
it helps me to get myself in check, you
Yes.
know? So I'm able to look in the mirror and say, okay, I need to work on that. When he preached the sermon about 2 halves don't equal a whole, I had to,
Right.
really take that
Right.
one in, because I'm like, yeah, I'm a half trying to become a whole with somebody, and I'm not there yet. So as a single, we definitely still learn a lot. Now they definitely show us some love. We've gotten some sermons too, but I say even as a single, being at a church that, really pours into those kingdom marriages, we definitely are learning a whole
Amen.
lot.
Amen.
Yes.
Wow, this has been great. Well, let's remind our friends again, it's Her Needs, His Needs, Part 2. You don't want to miss it, friends. Coming to the Orpheum, Saturday, June 20th, 7 p.m. It's all about real talk, real love, and real relationships.
Yes.
Get your tickets where, Myron?
Ticketmaster.com, and it's June 20th, Friday. It's a Friday evening.
Friday night.
7
Okay.
p.m.
Did I say Saturday?
Yep,
Yes.
that's okay.
Okay,
Yep,
thanks
yep.
for straightening me out.
Yeah.
It is Friday, June 20th at 7 p.m. But guys, thank you so much for sharing with Bot Radio today.
Man, thanks for
Yes, thank
having
you
us.
for having us.
We appreciate it. It's always an honor.